What is up, Packers fans, and welcome to the very first, not the very first, but the very first of this iteration of Packer Report TV. I am your host and the publisher of Packer Report, Ross Uglem. You guys will remember me from the daily draft, and going to come back this season and do something super similar. Should be 5 days a week is sort of the plan right now. I'm here at an undisclosed location in beautiful Green Bay, Wisconsin. We will probably have a couple different studios this week, working on potentially moving, maybe not using the NDSU studio with the Packers flag. We'll see sort of what this looks like around. You might also have the great Tyler Herrick develop more of a Packer Report TV skin you guys can see on YouTube. But the plan is very, very similar, like 8 to 16 minutes, 5 days a week. I'm here at camp, was at camp today. Got to meet two absolute luminaries in WWE's Braun Strowman and WWE's Otis. Both are Wisconsin guys. Both love the Packers. I got a picture out there on social media, but that was not the story of the day. The story of the day, of course, is Jordan Love. Jordan Love coming into this first practice with no contract, no practice. As I think my buddy Matt Schneidman put it on the Pat McAfee show, he was holding in, not holding out. He was holding in, meaning that, and I was there. This is very true. He's very involved with the offense. Was there in sweats or athletic gear, whatever. Obviously, no jersey, no pads, no helmet, nothing like that. But was definitely involved. I think he had an earpiece in at some point, so probably involved in some of the play calling as well. But I think it makes sense. And what we're all talking about, of course, is Love not practicing until his extension is done, not wanting to practice on a lame duck contract that isn't worth that much money guaranteed. The Packers want to get this done. Jordan Love wants to get this done. They want him to be the quarterback moving forward and being kind of the long-term guy, not kind of the long-term guy. I mean, they want him to be the face of the franchise. You can listen to arguments on both sides. Like, I've admitted that I was wrong about Jordan Love. I think for sure I'm comfortable moving forward. Um, but I will listen to those that say, hey man, he had one good half of one season. Like, while we as Packer fans definitely want to believe that, hey, yet again, oh my gosh, they found it, they did it again, he's the guy. And I still really truly do believe that that's more likely than it isn't. But I will not sit here and tell you that it is not a valid opinion, that it is based off of one good half of one season. I think that's real. I think it's fair to have those concerns, but none of it matters. Truly, I mean, none of it matters, because the absolute bottom line is that they're going to get this done. Brian thinks they're going to get it done. Jordan Love's camp allegedly feels like they're going to get it done. Schefter thinks it's going to get done. It's going to get done. So, that side of it doesn't matter. I asked Yudi today, I said, how different is it with quarterbacks? How do you marry, like, hey, we want to take care of you. We want to give you what you're worth, but your number is also going to affect like what we're able to do in the future. And he just said, we're trying to find that common ground. I think we'll find that common ground quickly enough, but we are trying to find that common ground between, yes, we've seen Goff's contract, we've seen T-Law's contract. We understand that, you're probably going to be the new highest paid QB on the market, with because if this number gets out of control, it's going to affect what we can get, down the line. And I'll say this too. I know, I think very, like, right here on this very podcast feed here at the Pack a Day, somebody should stop worrying about how much money Jordan Love makes. And I get that. Like, I understand it. I'm also very pro player. I want Jordan Love to make everything in the world. You see just how much ridiculous amounts of money Green Bay made as just their portion of the 132nd that they get from the league. Forget how profitable they are as an organization, which they very much are. Like, their 132nd of league revenue was like $420 million. Like, this money is fake. It's not real. None of this means anything other than to the players whose bank account it hits. But with that said, it's a salary cap league. If I'm, and this, it's much more complicated than that. But if I'm a kid in a gas station and you give me $10, if I spend $8 on energy drinks, I don't have much left for candy, snacks, pizza, whatever. Like if I'm at the Quick Trip and I blow $8 on 3 energy drinks, I'm kind of out of luck on the snack side. And I think that's sort of what you have to avoid. We just saw yet another Pat, who's basically taking a discount, but yet another team with a quarterback on a rookie deal and Brock Purdy make the Super Bowl. You see it over and over again. My biggest problem, and look, I'm not saying I wasn't wrong about Jordan Love because I was, and I don't think we need to keep relitigating that, or I don't need to keep apologizing for that. But I want people to not think that I don't think I was wrong because I was. But my biggest problem the whole time was more further away, basically from he is a bad prospect and closer to he doesn't make sense for their timeline. With the way that Aaron Rodgers ended up playing, you knew that he was going to have to sit for more than the Mahomes 1 year. The 1 year Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith, then it was go time. And the Chiefs did. Now they've gotten to the promised land again, but the Chiefs did get to ride that Patrick Mahomes rookie contract wave. You saw the Bengals ride that Joe Burrow rookie contract wave. The Bills got really close to being able to do it. The 49ers have done it. Like these super teams that get built. The Eagles did it with Jalen Hurts' rookie contract. These super teams that are able to get built when the quarterback doesn't make any money, that's what Green Bay is now going to miss out on. They're going to give $6 for energy drinks and only have 4 left over, right? I mean, look, Jordan Love is not going to take up 60% of the cap. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. But they've left the building on the rookie contract super team. It's not going to happen. They're going to have to win a different way. And that was always my biggest issue with their plan related to Jordan Love, and frankly, is now you're seeing it now, right? So it does matter how much Jordan Love makes. Okay, if they sign Jordan Love for $80 million a year, which they won't do, but if they pay Jordan Love $80 million a year, the rest of the league is going to suffer, or the rest of the roster, is going to suffer. There's less money to give whomever, and it's not even necessarily like people will think, he's talking about acquiring free agents, like going out and getting another Xavier McKinney. I'm really not. I'm talking about extending Christian Watson. I'm talking about extending Jaden Reed, extending Dontavion Wicks. I'm talking about extending Zach Tom, which is something that they're going to need to do. If Bullard ends up being good, if Edge Cooper ends up being good, on and on, right? These deals all become more difficult the more money the quarterback makes. Now, the good vastly outweighs the bad. It vastly outweighs the bad. You want to draft and acquire a quarterback good enough to extend multiple times. Yes, there is a magic Super Bowl window that a ton of these teams have hit, been able to go do awesome things because they're paying a very good quarterback, not a lot of money. It's not going to be the Packers. It's not. They're going to extend Jordan Love, and that is a much better thing than it is a negative thing. They've found their guy. Okay, he's the guy. He's going to be the guy. Camp observations, I would guess that Andy was probably pretty heavy with camp observations today. I will say Jordan Love proved his worth. I thought, and look, you want to be bright side or sunny side up, whatever, glass half full. Maybe the defense was just awesome. Maybe Jeff Hafley's that good. The offense looked sloppy today with Cliff Dog and Michael Pratt running things. And really, I would say Cliff Dog was the number one. The defensive line was getting after it, man. The screen game was icky, but lots of pressure in the backfield. I thought the D-backs were sticky, especially in like the red zone period. There were a couple good plays. There is a lot of Sean Clifford holding the ball and holding the ball and holding the ball and dancing. I thought the defense for sure won the first day, but that's to be, I think, expected. Like last year, so much coming out of camp about the defense, how much trash they were talking, et cetera, et cetera. And that was with Jordan Love. Now you've got the Cliff Dog, the 6 shooter out there. You got my guy Michael Pratt out there, and you have a very talented defense finally being run by what I view as kind of a competent defensive coordinator. I thought they won the day. I thought Dontavion Wicks looked good, man. He's really impressive. He really is. One other really interesting thing that I saw, um, and I was really kind of struck by Javon Bullard being the other safety, which is great. Javon Bullard being the other safety across from Xavier McKinney, but also then Edgerrin Cooper not being a starter in base. So, and the most interesting thing to me was Quay at the mic, green dot Quay. Not that you necessarily have to play middle linebacker to wear the green dot, but Quay was the mic in base, which I don't know that we were all expecting. I don't know how many people view kind of Quay's skill set, his ability to process and sort of what you would think, especially like Devondre Campbell, I think said like, he's a dog. You just got to let him go. Got to let him eat. Just let him go. Well, I think a lot of people sort of associate the mic or the middle linebacker position with calling the defense, taking in a lot of information, processing that information, being the leader of the defense, being cerebral. And you have Devondre Campbell out here saying, like, no, Quay just needs to go. I don't know that that's normally what a mic does, but in Jeff Hafley's system, it could be. And so he started at the mic, and the outside backers next to him were Eric Wilson and Isaiah McDuffie. No Edgerrin Cooper, top 45 pick in the draft now. I think if they had a football game tomorrow, Edgerrin Cooper's probably starting and playing in that game. But I at least found that interesting. Nothing exciting about the defensive back situation because it was all exactly what we thought with no Jair Alexander. At least mostly, I didn't see a ton of Ja today. I'd have to go back and see if he was hurt or if someone had tweeted something out about his absence. But the number ones were exactly what you would think the number ones would be without Alexander available. Keyshawn Nixon at nickel, Eric Stokes on one side, Carrington Valentine on the other. Not a lot of drama there, especially with Bullard starting at safety. Because if your thoughts about Bullard were, okay, maybe Bullard starts at nickel and they give Evan Williams, Anthony Johnson Jr., somebody else a shot at starting across from Xavier McKinney, and maybe it's Nixon that gets pushed. No, Bullard at safety, McKinney at safety. And then with no Jair Alexander, at least for much of the team periods, I don't even know if I ever actually saw him in uniform today. But a lot of Stokes, Valentine, Nixon right there in the nickel. Again, the defense won the day. Quay at the mic was interesting to me. Dontavion Wicks' performance was interesting to me. And then just the overall kind of clunkiness of the offense was not surprising, especially when you do consider, no Jordan Love. And the other thing to remember about today, too, is per the CBA, it was a short practice. So they jammed a lot of stuff into a little amount of time, no starting quarterback. We'll see how much longer that goes on. Guys, I'm super thrilled to be back here on Packer Report TV on the Pack-A-Day Podcast Network. We're going to be 5 days a week. Hopefully have a really cool film guest one day a week that I think I kind of have lined up. But recaps on Mondays, preview on Fridays. But we'll really try to keep it right here. Like I'm looking right now, 13 minutes and a half. We're going to try and keep these a little bit more digestible, very much in the vein and the spirit of the daily draft. But I am so very excited to be back. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, click the button, do all the things, get the notification, get that bell, do everything you're supposed to do. Have a great rest of your week, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Pack Go.